Welcome. All right. Well, let's just get right into it, and let's do just a little bit of 1,000 hands Buddha this morning. So we can start with our hands in Diamond Mudra. So one hand folded on top of the other, and then the thumbs can touch. And the hands can rest in our laps. And you can just settle into this posture, into this mudra. And this is, again, referred to as diamond mudra. And diamonds are the most stable substance. So just coming into this posture, inviting a sense of stability. And this is also a wonderful place to bring our awareness to the three treasures. And so again, feeling the stability of our alignment, the ground beneath us, just allowing awareness of the mind to settle into the body. Feeling the movement of the breath. And noticing the focus and the quality of the mind. And if that quality doesn't feel stable, you can direct the focus of the mind to the sensations of your body, of your alignment, of your seat, feeling into the earth beneath you. Feeling your breath move into and through your body. And then transitioning into the next mudra, establishing the aura. And let's do this 3 times together. So we can inhale. And as you exhale, your hands can move off of your lap down in front of you. As you inhale, reaching the arms out, stretching up overhead. And then exhaling, opening the arms out and around like you're establishing or you're clearing out your aura or your field. And then the hands can come back into Diamond Mudra. Inhale. Exhale down. Inhale, reaching out and up, stretch. And then exhale, clearing out. Hands back into Diamond Mudra. Inhale up to the heart. Exhale. Inhale, out and up. Exhale. This time, let the palms come to rest, palm up on the thighs. And now, not only breathing into and through your body, but also breathing into the space that's just surrounding your body, that space that we just established with that movement. Allowing the conscious breathing to clear that space inside of you and immediately around you. Maintaining an awareness of your alignment, of your breathing, of the space inside and around you. And then we'll transition to the next mudra. I'll mirror you. So we'll bring the right hand to the left shoulder, the left hand to the right shoulder. The left hand can drop down to the lower dantian as the right hand rises up to the third eye, and then we'll switch, the lower hand rising closer to the body. And now the right hand can circle in, coming to rest face up on the thigh. The left palm can face away and we can relax. This mudra, sometimes referred to as assurance and protection, I've come to think of it as strong back and soft front. So with this left hand upright, stable, collected, grounded, this strong back that we're cultivating, an ability to be grounded and centered. And then the lower hand representing the soft front, being able to be present with what is. Because there is sometimes the tendency to want to have a hard front, to be protected and guarded, to not have to encounter what is. But whether we're guarded and protected or not, what is. So can we cultivate a strong back to be able to remain centered and upright and grounded as we be with what is? Can we continue to breathe and feel all that's there without it knocking us off our center? If it does knock us off our center, can we recenter? Can we come back to this strong back? We'll change sides, so the left hand comes to the right shoulder, the right hand comes to the left shoulder, the right hand drops this time as the left hand rises, and then the lower hand comes up close to the body. The left hand circles in, coming to rest, palm up on the thigh. The right palm faces out. We breathe. Breathing into the soft front, allowing the breath to help us establish and maintain the strong back. feeling the sensations of your body and your alignment. And then from here we can return to Diamond Mudra. Returning to stability in our bodies, connecting to the stability of the earth. Calming our breathing, slow and steady and deep in the body. Allowing the body and the breath to be the focus of the mind so the mind can still become spacious, open, empty. And allowing that stable, calm, spacious awareness to give rise to more awareness, more spacious, open, calm, stable awareness. And as you're ready, we can bring our hands together. We can rub our palms together. Breathe in deeply together. Exhale, shake it out. And again, rubbing the palms together. And then briefly, we can massage our faces up and down a couple times. And then from here, over the scalp, front to back or back and forth. Down the back of the neck, taking your time as you bring your hands around the base of the neck. The palms can come together and we can massage our chest as we drag our hands down over the rib cage. Onto the belly, around the waist to the lower back and the kidneys. Drawing our hands out, shake them out. Tucking the thumbs into the fingers, letting the hands rest on the thighs. And again, just attuning to the body and the breath. And the mind. And then whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Right. Any questions about anything? Yeah.
In the four, I can't remember what they're called, but the first one, the bottom one is stability and calmness.
Yeah, so those four kind of Qigong principles, it's stability, calmness, emptiness, and illumination. And just now I was kind of referring to it more as like openness or spaciousness. And the reason why I was doing that, so stability, calmness, emptiness, illumination, either direction. But yeah, and I think I've mentioned before, like my teacher, that's her answer to any question. And so, because the illumination would be the answer, but we can't really get a good answer unless we're kind of just empty and open and not knowing. And it's hard to be in that place if we're not calm, and it's hard to be calm if we're not stable. So we can find some stability within our posture, within our body, within the breath, within the three treasures. That can allow us to calm and slow things down so that the mind can slow down and calm and create a little bit of space, and then out of that can come the awareness. And so, yeah, so I think those are great principles. And, you know, so we've been talking a lot about the fire horse. So, you know, it's the horse is the animal associated with the heart. And what the heart really prefers, we kind of touched on this last week, is space. And again, that's also this idea of like water controlling the fire. So when the fire is feeling really raging, or it's like, you know, if you take a flame and you kind of try to contain it, like one, either it will lose oxygen and just go out completely and not be there, or like I was actually watching this happen. I have, you know, those small little glass candle things that you can get from the store. Like I have some of those, and I will light one, and you know, when I'm doing my thing, and it had burnt all the way down, and it was like there was a little bit of wax around the edge. There wasn't a lot of space, but the flame kind of got really crazy, and then the glass shattered. And it was, yeah, it was pretty amazing, because I was looking at it and I was like, oh wow, there's that tiny little bit of wax left. Is it gonna like use that for some fuel to like get it all, and then pow? And so you know, spaciousness is what the heart and the mind really, that they need that. You know, I mean, even thinking about a horse, like in a tight little pen, like that horse will probably not be happy. And so having room to breathe, room to grow, like one of the ways I've seen it depicted, I don't have a marker, so I'll just use my hands. But, you know, so say if we have a situation and it's in, like this is our heart, and it's in this much space, and it feels very tight and very full. And we can have that exact same situation. Nothing else changes other than just having more space, you know, and then suddenly the whole thing changes. The whole experience of it changes. And so cultivating spaciousness, represented by this water element, so stillness, spaciousness, quiet, like that is what can help when we are feeling overwhelmed and anxious and just so much going on, which it is right now, and probably will continue on for the rest of the year at least, because it's the year of the fire horse, and because there's so much going on right now. And so again, rather than, you know, what do? I need to do something, that's illumination that we're looking for. And so, you know, are we empty? Are we calm? Are we stable? How can we create some space for ourselves? And maybe that spaciousness is stepping away from our phones or the news or however for a little bit, not ignoring it, not being ignorant of what's going on, but balancing that focus with some focus on maybe nothing, on spaciousness, on breath, on stability. Getting in touch with that so that then when you are engaged with whatever is going on, you can have that spaciousness. You can bring that quality of a strong back to what's going on. And so, again, so important to take time, even if it's small little bits of time throughout the day, to just reestablish some of that spaciousness, to take a breath, to calm down, and then face what's going on. And if after facing whatever is going on for however long, if you're feeling like you're in a tight little space and it's hard to breathe and it's hard to think clearly and we feel overwhelmed and anxious, then we know we can take some space. And the more that we do that, we might be able to access that space a little bit more efficiently, a little bit easily. We might even be able to access that space while we're engaged with whatever is going on in front of us, so we don't even necessarily need to step away, because we can access it, we can resource ourselves in the moment. Like, this is what Qigong practice and any kind of cultivation practice ultimately is about. It's about cultivating the capacity to deal with higher levels of intensity and complexity and not get thrown off center. So it's very important. And, you know, I was reading something just this morning where, Thich Nhat Hanh was talking about walking meditation and how he likes to say, and I think someone was actually telling the story, that he was instructing the group on walking meditation, and then when they went out to do it, he gave everyone a sticker to put in their shoes that says, "I walk for you." And so it's like, as we're cultivating for ourselves, but also for everybody else. You know, we're cultivating that stability for everyone else. And I do find sometimes it's hard to do things for ourselves, you know, but if we're doing it for someone else, it becomes a little bit easier. So that may be something to think about, if you are feeling like, do I really want to practice or just sit and breathe for a couple minutes? Like when I have other things to do, it's like, well, can you do it for someone else? Can you do it for the people who are really needing it in the world? And I think that can help to provide some motivation, and that can be a resource also. Okay, so now we're going to continue on. I think this will be the last week that we'll do the 6 sounds therapy, because we've done it for the past, I think, 3 weeks. This might be the 4th week of doing it, 4th or 5th. And so at this point, we're kind of familiar with it. And so what I would maybe put out there as an intention is, as we're doing this practice, of really just finding the space within the practice, and there are moments where we're still, and that's a wonderful time to drop in and to feel the spaciousness. And then as we're doing the movements also, can we really drop into the breath and even feel the process of the movements that we're doing and allow those to be these access points of spaciousness. So that as we can find that while we're doing things, that's how it works. That's how then it becomes, the formless form. Can we then access that space regardless of what we're doing, whether it's Qigong or whether it's being with a crisis? Okay. So we can stand if you'd like, and we'll get to it. All right. Oh, and I didn't mention, we're in the midst of the 3rd phase of spring already. Yeah, and the name of this phase is called the Awakening of Insects, because the next phase is the 4th phase, and the 4th phase, of course, is always either the solstice or the equinox. So this is the phase before the spring equinox. So yang has been underground all winter, even though it hasn't necessarily seemed like that here. And so right now, the yang is right underground, just like ready to come up. And then we have the equinox, where it's level. And then after that, it's rising up above ground. And so this idea of awakening of insects, it's kind of like all of this stuff right under the surface, just buzzing, just ready to go. Which may also be why we might feel a little bit that way within ourselves, of like chomping at the bit a little bit. And so just to know that is normal for this time of year. And so one way to channel that, so again, we talked about spaciousness, but we don't want to necessarily discharge all of that energy that's there, because that's a lot of momentum. That's the momentum of springtime, getting ready to make stuff happen. Insects and birds are awakening, and flowers are getting ready to bloom, all of these things. And so what can be helpful also with that energy is to channel it into some type of vision, like we've talked about in spring, with a vision for our year, where does that energy, which is ultimately the creative energy, where does it want to go? What does it want to be channeled into? If we don't like what's going on, can we come up with a vision of something that would be more beneficial? What are some positive things that we can think about, that we can put energy into, and then also put actual energy, not just into visioning it, but to making it happen. If we want a more kind of peaceful world, how can we create that in everything that we do? If we want more community, if we want more interrelating in a way that is healthy and beneficial for everyone, how can we contribute to that? Channel the energy into what it is that you want, so it's not stuck inside of us feeling suppressed or oppressed or repressed, so that it can move and so that it can become and bloom. So, awakening of insects. All right. So, before we get into our 6 sounds therapy form, let's just do a little bit of, shaking and sighs of relief and all of that. I think the general umbrella term can be called Qigong first aid. Because it is first aid for when we need it. So what I'd like to do is we can start with a couple deep breaths, and these deep breaths can become sighs of relief, and the sighs of relief can evolve into a little bit of spontaneous, just moving or shaking or discharging or however, and we'll just do that. So let's just start just with a nice deep breath in, and exhaling out. 2 more like that, in and out. Again. Now let's breathe like this, but audibly exhale. Maybe it moves into some shaking. And just continuing to bounce, continuing to breathe, and audibly exhale as you need. One more deep breath. Just settling in. Just feel what that feels like. Hopefully it feels good and spacious, like feeling some of the effervescence that can happen from doing that. Just dropping in, letting your sensations be the focus of your mind. So let's inhale our arms out and up, shift our weight towards the mirrors, and we can step our feet a little closer together as we exhale down. Hands into Diamond Mudra. And again, just finding stability in our alignment, maybe lifting the toes, feeling the hard parts of the feet making contact with the ground, allowing the knees to be soft. Breathing deep in the body and allowing the mind to move with the breath. So if you're breathing into the area of the solar plexus or even the area of the lower dantian, just allowing that to be where your mind is with your breath. On your next inhalation, as you inhale, roll the shoulders up. And then back, and on the exhale, they can come down, the knees can soften, the hands can separate, and then we can open towards the windows. And then just relax and let the hands move towards each other. Knees can soften. And then on the inhale, lifting through your elbows, lengthening through the back of the head and the neck. And then exhale and relaxing. So this movement beginning the wood element, the liver meridian and organ, visualizing the color green, like a tender blue-green almost. Just breathing into the space under the lower rib cage. Feeling the liver organ, feeling the diaphragm, knees bending as you exhale and as you inhale, extending through the elbows, the legs, the back of the neck, feeling this movement, this buoyant, soft, flexible movement. And then let's clear our liver so the hands can come down. And then we'll inhale the hands up through the back. As we exhale, the hands come forward and out. Hands come down. Inhale. Exhale. Clearing out the liver. Anything that you need to detoxify. Physical toxins, emotional toxins. And maybe you're all cleared out, so then you just have that healthy, creative growth and expansion moving outward. 2 more. Last one. The hands can float back over the lower ribs and massage the area of your liver organ and the end points of the liver meridian. Breathing deep into your liver organ, visualizing the healthy green color of a healthy liver. And we'll make the healing sound for the liver, which is shu. So we'll bring our hands around the waist to the lower back, and then inhale. Again, inhale. One more. In. Inhale the arms out and up, stepping the feet a little closer together, exhaling into Diamond Mudra, breathing, feeling the energy in the liver organ, the area underneath the lower ribs, all the way around, not only the liver, but the liver meridians and the diaphragm. Just allowing the energy of the liver to soften and to move. When we feel stressed, the liver gets tight. The liver is as much lymph as it is blood. When we're stressed, our lymph system doesn't circulate well. That leads to things like chronic, low-grade inflammation that compromises our immune system, that dysregulates our endocrine and nervous systems. And so breathing, discharging, that little bit of shaking as we make the sound helps to spread that energy of the liver, helps the liver to relax so the lymph can move, the blood can be sent up into the heart. So just breathing into that expansive energy of the liver. And then with our intention, we can invite that energy from the liver and the lower ribs up and back into our lungs. And so breathing into the backside of the rib cage, and feeling the lungs, which are very big organs, from the bottom of the rib cage just about all the way up to our shoulders, filling that whole space with the breath. So visualizing your lungs, if you can, breathing into the whole breath field on the backside of the rib cage. We can inhale the shoulders up, roll them back and exhale down, soften the knees, hands can separate, and then we can open. Hands can float down. And then let's inhale up, all the way up, stretch, and then exhale, open. Inhale, stretch the sides of the rib cage. Exhale. One more time, inhale and stretch. And this time, turn the palms down, exhale all the way. Palms back to back. Inhale up. Exhale, open. Palms stay up. We inhale back up. Turn the palms down and exhale. Palms back to back again. Inhale. Exhale. In. Palms down and out. One more time. In. Out. In. Palms down and out. This time, bring your chin to your chest and wrap your arms around yourself. And you can breathe here. Allow the breath to stretch the back of the rib cage. On your exhale, you can relax your arms and then inhale. Exhale. Palms back to back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale down. Wrap your arms around yourself, the opposite arm out front, chin to the chest. Take a big breath here. Stretch the back of the rib cage. As you exhale, the arms come down and inhale out to the sides. Exhale. Palms back to back. This time we'll inhale. Exhale, open, and the arms stay out shoulder level. You can look straight ahead if you'd like. You can bend your elbows, whatever you need. Let's take a breath. As you exhale, look over to the mirror hand. See if you can stretch the neck a little bit. And then inhale to center. Exhale, have a look at the window hand. Inhale to center. And then I'll mirror you. We'll bring the right hand in. And then the left hand in, making big fingers under the collarbones. We'll make the healing sound for the lungs 3 times, which is a S and a Z with the teeth together. We get a vibration up into our sinuses, stimulating the sinuses 3 times. We'll take a breath in between each sound. So big breath in. yourself all the way out, and then take a breath. Exhale. And again, inhale. In and out. One more time. Breathe in through your nose and out. And then we can send the hands out, bring the palms together, and the hands can come back in front of the heart. And we can rest here for a moment, feeling the energy in our sinuses, in our upper chest, in the back of the rib cage, just breathing that energy, that chi, into the lungs, allowing the lungs to be nourished. And again, we talked about how fire can control metal. And so in the year of the fire horse, it's important to take care of our lungs. It's important to breathe consciously, deeply, slowly. Nourish your lungs. Nourish your breathing. Allow the mind to be harnessed by the breath, to be calmed by the breath. Otherwise, the mind might damage your ability to breathe. So feeling the chi in the lungs and inviting that energy into the center of your chest, into your heart organ. And visualizing the heart organ, visualizing the red color of the heart. You can also visualize your hands in the shape of a red lotus, getting ready to bloom. So from here, we can send our hands up overhead, and as much as you can, see if you can keep the palms together and stretch, feeling your arms, your biceps against the side of the head, stretching the heart meridian down into the armpit, breathing. And then from there, if you're able, seeing if you can keep the base of the wrists together and let your fingers bloom open like a lotus flower. And then we can take our middle fingers and massage the crown chakra, the 1,000-petaled lotus. And then the hands can come back up, and we can cross at the wrists, let the hands float down, tracing either side of the sternum and the abdomen, and then uncrossing above the hips, not going too deep, just hinging the hips back slightly, a little knee bend, and then the hands float out in front. Curl your fingers in, so the fingertips come towards the heart, and then they dive down. Back of the palms together, leading with the pinkies, rising up and stretch up. And then crossing at the wrists, the hands float down, either side of the sternum and the abdomen, uncross, gentle hip hinge, gentle knee bend, the hands sweep out, fingertips come in, connecting to the heart, down, leading with the pinkies, reaching up, And again, crossing at the wrists. Uncrossing above the hips, diving down not too deep. Fingertips come in, dive down, lead with the pinkies and stretch. One more time. In and out. In. Let's do it one more time with the breath. And out. In and out. In. As you exhale, bring your palms together and the hands float down in front of the heart. And again, feeling your shoulder blades, the space behind the back of the heart, the base of the skull. Visualizing your heart organ. We'll make the healing sound for the heart, which is ka. And as we do, the lotus of our hands will bloom open, the forearms will come together. So inhale. Ka. Middle fingers can massage the heart center. And so with this movement, having the forearms together helps to stretch the space behind the back of the heart. So just feeling that and feeling the vibration of the sound in the center of the chest. Palms together, inhaling. Massage the heart center. Palms together. Inhale. Massaging the heart. Breathing into the heart organ, the center of the chest. This point we're massaging named the center of the altar. The palms can come together in front of the heart. And the fire of the heart, like a calm candle flame, breathing into the heart, breathing into the space around the heart, behind the heart. And then with our intention, we can take this energy, this qi that's nourishing the heart and has nourished the heart. We can turn our fingertips down and direct the qi down. And then we can bring the hands around the waist to the lower back, connecting with our kidneys. So tuning in to your kidney organs, the area of the lower ribs and the lower back, the lumbar spine, visualizing the inky blue-black color of the kidneys. Breathing deep into the kidneys in the body. The kidneys are the water element. We can visualize ourselves in the ocean like turtles, deep underwater, just resting. Breathing deep into our kidneys, into our bones. And then from here, the hands can come around the waist and then down the inner thighs, and let the hips hinge back so the weight is in the heels. You should be able to lift your toes, reaching back through the hips, strong spine, not rounding the back. And then your hands can rest on your knees. And if this is deep enough for you, that's fine. Make sure the knees are spreading away from each other. If you'd like to go any further, you can go down as much as is comfortable into a nice turtle shape. And again, spreading the knees apart. Back of the spine is nice and long. And here we're going to inhale and lift the head. And then exhale, bring the chin to the chest. Inhale, roll yourself up. Like a turtle drinking water. Exhale, chin to the chest. Inhale, rolling the head up. And the chin reaches out and down on the exhale. 2 more. In and out. Last one. In and out. From here, the weight is in the heels. Press through your heels. Your butt comes up. The hands drag up the front of the body. Coming up to stand. Hands to the lower dantian. And then we can bring our hands around the waist. Back to the lower back. Back to the area of the kidneys. And now, let's continue with this water movement. So I'll mirror you. We'll shift our weight towards the mirrors. Bring the foot closer in. And we'll do it easy the first time. So just inhale the heel up onto the toes. Exhale, reach out. Touch with the toes. Foot comes back. Inhale. Exhale out with your heel. Inhale back, shift to the other leg. Inhale toes, exhale reach. Inhale back, exhale through the heel. Inhale, shift your weight. If you can come up a little higher with your foot, do that. If not, stay where you are. So inhale, exhale point. Inhale, exhale through the heel. Inhale and shift. In, out. In, out. In, exhale, shift. In, out. In, out. In, and shift. 1 more. In, out. In, out. In, exhale to stand. Now we'll make the healing sound for the kidneys, which is Chui. So the hands can come around. We'll inhale the arms out. Exhale, crossing the arms. Inhale up. Thumbs get tucked in the fingers. Hips hinge back. Spine is long and Chui. Massage the lower dantian. So feeling the posture and the sound in the lower back, in the kidneys. Inhale. Exhale. In. deep into your bones, deep into the kidneys. One more time, in and out. In. The hands can come around the waist, back to the lower back and the kidneys, feeling that energy in the lower back and in the lumbar spine and the lower ribs and in the kidney organs. Just allow your kidneys to be nourished by the chi. And then with our intention, we can bring our hands and bring the energy around from the kidneys to the solar plexus. In between the base of the sternum and the belly button, into the area of the digestive organs, visualizing the golden yellow color of the digestive organs, of the solar plexus and the third chakra. Visualizing the spleen and the stomach and the pancreas. And we can let our hands come down, and then we'll inhale the arms out and up, step the feet a little closer together, palms come together overhead, and then exhale the hands down to the heart. Swimming dragon will inhale. Exhale, send your fingertips up, hands out towards the mirrors, the hips move in the opposite direction. And then inhale, flatten the hands. Come to center, fingertips back up, exhale out towards the windows. And then inhale. And exhale. So we have this nice rhythmic undulation, like a dragon and a snake winding its way through the universe. Exhaling as the hands move out, inhaling as they come in. Taking your time, harmonizing the movement and the breath. Exhaling one more time. Inhale. Hands to the center. Stepping out a little bit wider. Do it from the side. So sending the hands up, and the hands like shovels, we dig in and come down the face and the body. Hips move back. We're not folding, we're squatting as we come down. Weight in the heels, knees moving apart, reaching out, lifting through the thumbs and the index fingers to stand. And then again, dig in, exhaling down, inhaling up. Exhale, long, slow, hips back, knees move apart, weight in the heels, press through your heels to stand up. Again. Inhale. Two more. In. Last one. In. This time, we exhale down. And then like we're gathering something up, inhale to the solar plexus. Massage the solar plexus. Visualizing the golden yellow color of the digestive organs will make the healing sound, which is whoo. And you may want to bounce gently as you make the sound, but if not, that's okay. Big breath in. Again, inhale. One more. Relaxing. Breathing into the solar plexus, breathing the golden yellow color into the solar plexus, into the digestive organs. Allowing this quality of earth within us to be nourished by the chi that we're generating with our intention, with our movement, with our sound, our voice, and our breath. Feeling into this center of us, establishing a kind of gravity to help maintain groundedness. Relax the hands down, and then we'll inhale, out and up with the hands, step the feet a little closer together. Exhale, down into Diamond Mudra. Feeling the energy from the solar plexus. And with your intention, you can invite that energy to expand outwards in all directions so that it can include all of the organs in the chest and the abdomen, the front and the back of the body. Expanding to include the whole body, from the crown to the base of the feet, and expanding out beyond the body to include the space around you. And it can extend as far as you would like it to go. It can include the town, the state, the nation, the planet, the galaxy, the universe. We can inhale our shoulders up. Exhale down and back, the hands can separate, the knees can soften, and we can open out towards the windows. We'll bring the window hand underneath and the mirror hand on top. The palms are facing each other. The palms will stay in this orientation, but we're going to switch which hand is on top and which hand is underneath. This lower hand will need to rotate as it comes up. So, push the palms closer together. Let the lower palm come close to the body and then extend it up overhead, stretching the upper palm up, the lower palm down, looking over the open shoulder, and take a big breath in, stretch. And then exhale, the palms turn towards each other. You can bend your knees if you'd like, and on the inhale, switch hands. Stretch and exhale. Knees can bend, hands move towards each other, and then on the inhale, switch. Stretch. Other side, inhale. Exhale. Really pushing through the palms, down towards the earth, up into the sky. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. One more. In. And out. Palms can move towards each other until they come together. And then the hands can come down, and we'll inhale the arms up, making a circle overhead, and a circle in the middle, and a circle down low. Bring the hands over the lower dantian. We'll make the healing sound for the triple warmer, which is the integrated function of all the organs. And the sound is she. Makes you smile. Inhale. Breathing. So again, inhaling the arms out and up, we'll make a circle for the boundless sky. And a circle for all of life, terrestrial or otherwise. And a circle for the earth, for all the substance, all the stars and the planets. The hands can come over our belly, and we'll inhale. One more time, inhaling the arms out and up, making a circle for the heavens and the earth, yin and yang, making a circle for all of our relations, our friends, our family, our ancestors, making a circle for ourselves, honoring ourselves, honoring this practice, honoring our interconnectedness with all things. Inhale. Just feeling the vibrations of qi in the allowing the chi to move where it needs to move through where it needs to move through, to collect where it needs to collect, to nourish where it needs to nourish. We can bring the hands to the sides of the waist and then down, and we can just relax our stance so that you can stand comfortably with your arms by your sides. And again, just for a few moments, just standing. Soft knees. Maybe lifting your toes to find the hard parts of the feet. Inviting more of your weight into your heels than the balls of your feet. Finding the outer edges of the feet as well. From the feet, rising up. The knees stay unlocked. Breathing wide into the sides and the back of the rib cage. Lifting up and back through the base of the skull, which will allow the collarbones to lift slightly and open out to the sides. And just feel the spaciousness in the body. Create more space on your inhale. As you exhale, see if you can maintain some of that space rather than exhaling everything down. See if you can inhale up and wide, and then maintain that on the exhale, which means the lower dantian engages. The abdomen moves away from the waistband slightly. Breathe into the back of the ribs. Lift through the base of the skull. Exhale, maintain that lift and width. Press through your heels. Lift through the base of the skull. One more big breath. And then relax. And just let go of the effort. And just stand and feel your body. Breathe with your whole body. Just let that be the focus of the mind for a few moments. And then as you're ready, you can just kind of relax, shake it out a little bit. And let's rub our palms together. We can massage our face up and down a couple times. Back and forth over the top of the head. Down the back of the neck and around. Over the chest, lower ribs, and belly, around the waist to the lower back. Drawing the hands out, shake them out. Let's pat up one arm, and then down. Up the other arm, and down. And then around and down the back of the legs, up the front, and again around and down, and up. And let's do a couple more sighs of relief, maybe with some shaking or blithering. So big breath in. Two more. sighs of relief, huh? Less sighs of despair, more sighs of relief. All right, great. So I think this will be the last time that we do the 6 sounds therapy for a little while. So are there any questions about anything? Yeah.
Question. I have a hard time inhaling on the kidney piece to get enough juice to really. I run out of air before it's over. The sound. Is there any strategies, tricks for that? The other ones I'm unable to continue with. That one seems tricky.
Is it just the movement, like not getting enough in, or?
No, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think that it's just my back's contracting, so I'm not able to.
Yeah, well, so one thing I would say with that, if it feels like there's not enough room for the breath, you don't have to squeeze the shoulder blades together so much.
Okay.
Like, we're not wanting to squeeze the shoulder blades together, we just want them to be strong.
Okay.
And it's almost like you're reaching away. Yeah, so it's not the tightness. Yeah, because that'll definitely tighten everything up.
Yeah.
So yeah, see if there can be like a strength, but with a little bit of ease through the shoulders and the shoulder blades. Yeah. All right. Anything else?
On the liver one, it feels like it's working all parts down lower, muscles.
Yeah. Well, so the liver meridian, it begins on the big toes, the outer edge of the big toes, in between the first and second toe, up the shin bone to this kind of inner thigh area, and then it actually winds all around the external genitalia and then comes up to the lower ribs. So all of that is the liver meridian. So when we're making that sound and we're doing a little bit of shaking, like all of that is the liver meridian getting activated. Yeah, so that's what you're feeling. That's great. Yeah. All right. Okay, well, great. If there's nothing else then, thank you so much. And if you'd like a recording, please let me know. And also, I will be out of town next week, so we won't have class next week. but then I'll be back after that. What's that? That'll be the 25th, which will be right around the, I think we'll just have moved past the equinox. So that's where we'll be in the year. And so in 2 weeks, we'll have class again, but not next week. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here and practicing. Right. And thank you everyone for joining on Zoom. I hope you have a great week.